Equities that made a move on the market today. 19 equities registered some trading, quite massive. We've not seen this since the start of the year.
Yes,
but
exactly,
as a result of the fact that the market has consistently been in the negative position, that has not translated into the market indices. We saw some 22,265 shares in GCB, 2,000 shares in ETI, that's EcoBank International, and also MTN, of course, the driver of the market, but we've not seen much activity in terms of returns in this equity since the start of the year. 452,500 shares traded as at the end of the session, 26,623 in Societe Generale, and also 3,533 in SIC. So, Edward, if you ask me what transpired on the market, that's all I can tell you.
Fantastic. Great analysis there. We're going for a short break. When we come back, we're going to hook up with Prince Corentin Kumi, who has done a research about how to use cassava as a game changer in creating jobs and scale up income generation. Hello, welcome back to Market Avenue. Prince, you're welcome.
Thank you, Edward.
Prince, you're talking about cassava as a game changer.
Exactly.
What have you find so unique about cassava? You think that it can help enhance food security and even generate more income for farmers across the country?
That's good, because cassava is not new. So you'll be wondering, what is so new about cassava? This is what our forefathers were producing a long time ago. Yes, we, the professionals, and then even the researchers, we have realized that there is a very easy way by which we can help reduce poverty. Because UL is saying that by 2030, the extreme poverty should be zero. And if you are talking about poverty, as they are talking about, like $1.9 a day, if you are not able to live on $1.9 a day, it means you are poor. If you bring it into Ghana cities, just about 11 to 12 cities a day. But we should not make any mistake and think that this is those whom everybody getting it. No, there are so many people in Ghana and even Africa who are not getting that. Because even if you take it a month, it's about 300, 350, and many people don't even earn that. Now, we have realized, we researchers and then lecturers have come together to form what we call the African Center for Poverty Alleviation Strategy, ACPAS. And we are saying that we have researched and we can do more using cassava to reduce poverty simply. Why are we choosing cassava and not any other crop? Because cassava is one of the few crops in Ghana that can withstand drought. And it can even withstand poor soil. One of the few, you know. And this is the crop that our forefathers have been producing for long. Now, when we look at the country, it is also one of the crops that almost every part of the country, like Ghana, can produce. If you take Africa, about 40 countries can produce cassava and even more. All right. So then, if you are to reduce poverty, and poverty has been described as a rural phenomenon, and research shows that over 78% of the poor people are in the rural areas. So, if many of them are basically into cassava and other crops, then cassava should be the game changer. Now, why are we saying that? Is cassava important? Is it something which is useful to the world? And it is, no doubt it is true. Research, go everywhere, you know that there's no part of cassava which is thrown out.
There's no part of cassava
there's no part of it which is not necessary. From the leaf. The leaf is a vegetable for stew and other things. You know, when we come to the
apart from vegetable and stew and other things, what else can the leaves be used for?
Oh, the leaves, of course, it is a herbal plant that can be used in herbal preparations and so on, but that I will not go there much.
Okay.
But basically, we are talking about food security and poverty reduction. And it is food. The leaf is food. All right. When we come to the stem, it is animal feed. And animals are meant for food. Then we go to the cassava itself. Cassava can be used for so many things. The gari itself, is it not what has kept students and all of us till now? Look at the time that we had COVID. Is it not gari that people went into and even the price became so high? So cassava is important. If you come to the cassava chips, it's exported. China and so on, they can have it. You can go to the net, it is there. If you talk about the flour, when you go to Europe, it's needed. Even Ghana, the pharmaceuticals use them.
But Ghana, it's just kokonte.
Aha, we know it as kokonte, but it's cassava flour, which is a pharmaceutical product. You know.
But are you sure our pharmacists, they're interested in what we produce in Ghana? Because maybe perhaps the quality might not be there.
Yes, that is where we are coming to. That is where African Center for Poverty Alleviation comes in. It means that the cassava is useful. Only the way the value chain preparations is necessary. How to market it? What type do they need? There is a gap between the knowledge of what is needed in the market and then what the farmers are doing. And therefore, the farmers will produce and they get rotten. Meanwhile, cassava is a precious product which is consumed all over the world, and it's not even enough. You understand? The starch is used for many preparations in the pharmaceutical industry. You understand? So why is it that
it's not enough? I'm not cutting you.
All
but
right.
In Ghana here, we see cassava produced.
Exactly.
And it goes waste.
Exactly.
So we are not able to consume what we produce.
Exactly. The problem is that the professionals on the value chain have not done enough to help the rural poor. The rural poor doesn't know the market. Sometimes they even produce, they get to the market centers, the market queens come to buy it at any price they want to buy, because if they are not bought, they will get rotten and sent home rotten. Meanwhile, it's not even as if the market women bringing it to Kaswa market or maybe Makola market, they are coming to even. Some also get rotten there, not all of them are bought. So it means there is a problem with the value chain and how to market it. You see, so that is where we, the professional, the researchers, have realized that that is the problem. It is not a case that cassava is not necessary or is not needed. It is needed all over the world. No, is gari not needed? I used to say we are getting enough gari in Ghana. Now the price is going higher and higher. You know, so it is about how the value chain preparation and the marketing will go. So what are we saying? We are saying that now the model is so simple. Get to the rural centers, the communities where cassava is produced, and it's all over the country, even in Africa. Take the basic statistics about their welfare, about their poverty status. That is where our statisticians at the African Center will do first. And then when you finish, you introduce this project. How do you introduce it? These our biological scientists should look for the correct variety that is needed in the market. Then these farmers should be made to plant that.
And which CSR has done so much in that regard.
Exactly.
A lot. But they're just sitting there.
Yes. Are they aware? Are the farmers, the poor farmers in the market?
No, they've introduced, I have interviewed CSR several times and they've done so much, but
you will be surprised to know that from our researches, many of them are not even aware. And even if they are aware, how to go about it, they are still introducing the traditional agronomic practices. And therefore, there should be the professionals to train them on the modern agronomic practices. Now, after that has been done, they are able to have the land, they have a problem with the lands, and they can produce. But when they produce, no market. Why is it that they are not getting market? Is it because cassava is not needed? And there's nobody who can convince anyone that cassava is needed. It's not needed. Because I've just told you that it is an industrial product. Now, the problem is that there must be the marketers, the professionals. First, we should know that producing cassava as a farmer doesn't mean that cassava knows how to conduct cassava business profitably. I've been telling my students always that if someone knows how to produce kenkey, doesn't necessarily mean he can run a profitable kenkey business. I may not be able to produce kenkey, but someone can produce for me and I can run a profitable business. So that's what is happening to the farmers. They are farmers, they know how to cultivate cassava, but they don't know how to conduct a profitable cassava business. So the professionals, the researchers, there is a link that we should help them. One, if we can just organize a processing, you know, just a little processing factory.
But we've been doing this for ages. I mean, processing, we go to a lot of communities out there, they are doing cassava processing, gari, and it's always gari.
Good.
Fortified with different kinds of, now they've, I mean, move a step further, and they fortify different kinds of nutrients. And so what is different? What is the difference you are talking about?
Good. The question is, they have been producing gari. Is gari enough in Ghana? Can you say so? Still, the price is going higher and higher and higher because we don't have enough. So why is cassava rotting? Two, is cassava okay for the whole of Africa? The answer is no. Go to Nigeria, go to other parts of the world, gari is needed and it will not have enough. Put gari aside. What about the flour? What about the flour? Is it enough? Are you saying the flour is not necessary? We only know it in the villages, so that is a coconut and people don't eat coconut. But it's an industrial product. Are they aware? They're not aware. Many people are not aware. So these biological scientists who are aware of the uses of cassava, even one of our scientists has been able to produce a cassava spread. You see, like
cassava spread?
A spread, like a butter you can put in a...
Oh, wow.
What do you call it?
Like
bread.
Wow.
And take it. You understand? So we are not doing enough. If we can process them very well, the market is there. And
cassava spread.
Cassava spread.
Wow,
you know,
that's
yes,
fantastic.
Yes, it has a spread, cassava. And it is very nutritious.
Is it a starch or something is added to it?
No, the raw cassava. And then we have been able to prepare it into a spread. I think one of these days you have to invite one of our members, the biological scientists. You know, they are there. So we are saying that we are failing the poor. Okay. The professionals, the researchers, the value chain, we are failing the poor. Because we should be able to pick the cassava. We should be able to turn it into various preparations that are useful and that are marketable both in Ghana, Africa, and the whole of the world.
Now, you are talking about researchers.
Sure.
Now, I mentioned CSR. I know they've done so much. I don't know about the spread you're talking about.
Okay.
That might be new.
Okay.
But they've done a lot of research about cassava. But what we are lacking, that I have observed, is getting business people to buy into what they have done.
Good.
So what else can you do to be able to rope them or bring them on board this train?
Yeah, that is exactly what Africa Center for Profit Television Strategy is trying to do. Because if they have done researches and they have found several uses of cassava, why is cassava getting rotten? Cassava is still getting rotten in the villages, even though these researchers are there. So there should be a coordinating body. Well, I don't know about the government. I think the researchers and the professionals can do that. Because we don't want the researchers to sit in the lecture room. It must be beneficial to the community, to offer community service to them. So we have marketers also with various marketing models. Why don't we use it on the ground to market this product?
Okay.
We have this research that has been done. They may not have been patented. They may not have been branded well. What are the marketers also doing? You know, the logistics people who do the export and so on. What are they doing? The Africa Center is saying that we put these professionals together to have a simple model to reduce poverty. And that's what I was trying to tell you. First, just simple thing. Go to the area, community, you know, and then get them to produce. First, what they need is market. Do you understand? So when they are very sure they will buy, they will more than produce a lot, and they'll be so happy. So when they produce, then there must be a processing scenario. First, they must produce the correct variety. The biological scientists must prepare them into the various preparations. It can be CSIR, it can be, but we also have our body who also will prepare that one. Then they will be linked to the market. You understand? So whatever is done, just a little amount, like just about $10,000, maybe 6,000 in Ghana cedis. There are some few machinery that can be put in a place. Maybe the grater, maybe the fryer, and something like the dryer. With this processing in just a community, we'll be able to buy all their cassava. And then once it is bought, they get their money. And then they can produce more. So if we can continue to do that and market them, then it means they will always be able to produce and get income. And I tell you, within 3-4 years, that status that you see them of less than 12 cedis a day would have been gone, and would have reduced poverty and created income and even food security. Look at cassava. Even the cassava, when you peel it, the cassava peels. That is also the food for the animals. I hope you understand. It can also be processed into a fertilizer for the farm. I hope you understand. And this one will just be surplus for them, but this is what they are peeling away. You understand? So there's a need for training and a little training them on business way of what? Producing cassava. They just know produce and sell and they are not getting market. But if they know how to use the cassava, if they are trained on how to use the cassava and they ensure market for them, which is also available, then they will have a lot of income. They will have a lot of food.
So with this research you've done,
yeah,
do you have in mind a community you want to use to kickstart this project?
Good. This project, as I've said,
test to see how feasible
we have already
and viable.
We have already started.
Okay.
If you go to Suhum Asamankesi Road, we have a community there called Okunam.
It's called what?
Okunam.
Okunam.
Exactly.
Okay.
That is where we are going. You have seen cassava getting rotten. The people are getting poorer. So let us start from there. We have also gone to Tichamante to start a project there. So we have already taken the baseline statistics. So what we are trying to do is to train we have also a great extension officer in our team to train these farmers in the right agronomic practices. These days it is organic here and there. So even our researchers have come out with an organic way of spraying insects and so on. So that once it is done,
so that I command premium price.
Exactly.
Okay.
So once it is done, we are going to buy all. It's a team. We have to get financiers and so on, so that we can process this one into the various form, and then our marketing team will ensure they are exported. So once this is done and continue to be done, all what the farmers will do is to produce a lot and come and sell and get their money. Some of them will also be introduced to this processing because some of them are already into Gary already. But even Gary, it is not all Gary that is needed for export, because if you let the cassava get rotten, it produces a certain dangerous chemical. And this, when you send it to the market for export, nobody will buy. So if these biological scientists are able to get the right cassava and make sure they are processed in the right condition, then it means the market is already there. And when that happens, it means cassava. Look, when we have one project, let's say we have like $10,000. We have a project in a community. Within 2-3 years, we can lift it, that same amount to another community. Because we are not introducing the welfare approach to poverty reduction. We are introducing the market approach.
Why not doing the welfare approach?
Exactly. The welfare approach is just like giving them fish instead of teaching them how to fish. And normally that one is very good for kids, and there may be the older generation where you give them something to take. But for the youth, you don't just go and give them, oh, you are not doing well, take this, take that. No, it doesn't work. It even makes them to be maybe lazy. You understand? But buy their products, train them, introduce them to the proper market models and the enterprise models. As I said, some may be able to produce cassava, but they don't know the marketing practices and managerial practices to make the cassava production as farmers business. You know, so business support services are also necessary. Some of them may not even need finance. You know, because they can produce. Maybe they need only market. Some also have market, but they don't know how to manage the funds.
Finally, before we wrap up, so in your view, the research you're doing, how long will it take for people captured within the poverty bracket, 5 years, 3 years, or 2 years, to change their status?
Oh, cassava between 3 and 4 years, they should be okay. All what they need is the market. They will produce a lot and earn income. Well, what we are saying is that they should not be in extreme poverty. And extreme poverty, according to the UN, is $1.9 expenditure a day. Which if you trade this in Ghana, let's say $1 is like 6 cedis, about 6 cedis. It means you are getting to something less than 12 cedis a day. So if you can allow them to have income to enable them to spend more than 12 cedis a day, you have taken them out of poverty.
Thank you very much, Prince Kranti Kumi, for your time. Who is a senior lecturer at Accra Technical University, also a member, executive director of
African Center for Poverty Alleviation Strategy. Thank
you very much. He's talking about using cassava as a game changer to change the story of rural folks. My name is Edward Nyakun. God willing, we'll come away again tomorrow. Shalom.